second time, never more than that. The torture lasted up to 15 minutes. Although the Inquisition was...
You can do a lot of damage in 5 minutes of torturing somebody. 10 minutes, 15 minutes of torture, you can kill the person.
Yep.
But that's these damn devils trying to water down history.
Although the Inquisition was technically forbidden from permanently harming or drawing blood, this still allowed for methods of torture. The methods most used and common in other secular and ecclesiastical tribunals was garrucha, toca, and potro. The application of the garrucha, also known as the strapado, consisted of suspending the victim from the ceiling by the wrists, which are tied behind the back. Sometimes weights were tied to the ankles with a series of lifts and drops, during which the arms and legs suffered violent pulls and was sometimes dislocated. The toca, also called the interrogatio mejorado del agua, consists...
That's waterboarding. That's exactly what that is.
Yep.
So that waterboarding thing, they didn't make that up. That goes back to the late 1400s, man. That goes back to these Inquisitions, namely the Spanish Inquisitions. They're all Edomites, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. Consists of introducing a cloth into the mouth of the victim and forcing them to ingest water spilled from a jar, so that they had the impression of drowning. See waterboarding. The potro, the rack, was the instrument of torture used most frequently. The assertion that confessionium est verum non factum vi tormentorum, literally, a person's confession is truth, not made by way of torture.
Yeah, so they torture you until we know that you did it. Say that you did it. You didn't do it, but we'll keep torturing you until you say that you did it. Yep. Until you admit it. Or we'll tell us this. Then you tell them that you don't know if it's true or not, or you know that you're telling a lie, but that's what they want out of you. So when they bring you before the tribunal, they'll say, well, he just confessed to doing it, or he confessed to this. The reason why he confessed, because you tortured his ass until he confessed to it. Yep. Going back to what I said, this man's a damn devil, man. And thank the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Most High is getting ready to take this devil out very soon. Is there any more?
Yeah. Sometimes follows a description of how, after torture had ended, the subject freely confessed to the offenses. Thus all...
Of course, to get that to have him stop torturing his ass. He'll tell you that he killed Whistler's mother. He'll tell you that he shot Lincoln. He'll tell you any damn thing. He'll tell you that he went up Jack's beanstalk and met the giant. If you torture him enough.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a damn shame that you Israelites out there can't understand and accept the fact that this man's a damn devil. Go ahead.
Thus, all confession acquired by means of torture was considered completely valid, as they were supposedly made of the confessor's own free will.
He said his own free will. Even though I had a towel over his head and I was pouring water down his throat and his nose, had him on the rack. He said he's telling the truth. That's the truth. He just confessed to it. Yep. I mean, do you need us to do it again? He'll confess again. Go ahead, motherfucking devils.
Once the process concluded, the inquistadores met with a representative of the bishop and with the consultores, experts in...
This was done in the so-called church, the so-called Holy Catholic Church.
And with the consultores, experts in theology or canon law, which was called a consulta de fe. The case was voted and sentence pronounced, which had to be unanimous. In case of the discrepancies, the Suprema had to be informed. According to authorities within the Eastern Orthodox Church, there was at least one casualty tortured by those Jesuits, though most likely...
The Jesuits, they got off on torturing people.
Yep.
They got off on that. Go ahead.
One casualty tortured by those Jesuits, though most likely Franciscans who administered the Spanish Inquisition in North America, St. Peter de Lute. That's it on that.
Okay. So now go to the one on Christopher Columbus. I don't know if it's on. Yeah. Let's see what that says.
It says Columbus Day, American Holocaust and Slave Trader by Roy Cook. In 1492, Columbus ships appeared off the coast of San Salvador. The Taino Indians greeted Columbus with an unimaginable hospitality. Columbus reported this to his queen. So tractable, so peaceful are these people that I swear to your majesties, there is not in the world a better nation. They love their neighbors as themselves, and their discourse is ever sweet and gentle, and accompanied with a smile. And though it is true that they are naked, yet their manners are decorous and praiseworthy. Columbus soon lost sight of the generosity and kindness of the Taino people. Contrary to popular legend, Columbus did not prove that the world was round. Educated people had known that for centuries. The Egyptian Greek scientist Eratosthenes, working for Alexandria and Aswan, already had measured the circumference and diameter of the world in the 3rd century BC. Arab scientists had developed a whole discipline of geography and measurement. And in the 10th century AD, Al-Makdisi described the earth with 360 degrees of longitude and 180 degrees of latitude. The monastery of St. Catherine in the Sinai still has an icon that was printed 500 years before Columbus, and which shows Jesus ruling over a spherical earth. Nevertheless, Americans have embroidered this is a polite word for stitching lies together. Many such legends around Columbus, and he has become part of a secular mythology for school children. Autumn Indian summer would hardly be complete in U.S. elementary schools without construction paper replicas of the 3 ships that Columbus sailed to America. On April 17, 1492, before his first voyage to the Americas, Columbus negotiated a business contract with King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain, entitling him to 10% of all profits. In this contract, the Spanish sovereigns agreed that of all and every kind of merchandise, whether pearls, precious stones, gold, silver, spices, and other objects and merchandise whatsoever of whatever kind, name, and sort, which may be bought, bartered, discovered, acquired, and obtained within the limits of said admiralty, your highness grant from now henceforth to the said Don Cristobal, Christopher Columbus, the 10th part of the whole, after deducting all expenses which may be incurred therein. After his 4th and final voyage to the Americas, Columbus summed up his feelings about gold in July 7, 1503, letter to Ferdinand and Isabella. Gold is most excellent. Gold is treasure, and he who possesses it does all he wishes in this world. After turning out the Jews beyond prophets, Columbus sought to convert native people to Catholicism. In the prologue of his journal of the first voyage, Columbus wrote to Ferdinand and Isabella, Your Highness, as Catholic Christians and princes who love the holy Christian faith and the propagation of it, and who are enemies to the sect of Mahomet, Islam, and to all idolatries and heresies, resolved to send me, Cristobal Colon, to the said parts of India to see the said princes, with a view that they might be converted to our holy faith. Thus, after having turned out all the Jews from all your kingdoms and lordships, your Highness gave orders to me that with a sufficient fleet, I should go to the said parts of India. I shall forget sleep and shall work at the business of navigation so that the service is performed. The enslavement of native people. On October 12, 1492, the first